motorcycle is whatever you want to make it. Turn it on, you can give yourself a real thrill.
What's going on, guys? This is Carl with the RacerRed channel. This is the hardest lookout to get to by far. It looks like I would have to come at it from the backside. I tried to go around the side of it because everything was, it's all private land and there's big old signs everywhere that say stay out. There's a lot of these lookouts that are really hard to get to for that reason. It definitely was going the right way. The trail just completely disappeared. I'd have to be riding off trail, and that's not kosher or very possible out here at all. That's a beautiful view right there. I was thinking the road is one of the most dangerous places to be on a motorcycle, which is funny to say considering how dangerous a trail is with rocks everywhere and branches and logs you have to jump over, obstacles of every kind, and ledges along the way. Really, the most dangerous place to be is the road because there are higher speed obstacles for one, so when animals run out in front of you, you don't necessarily have a whole lot of reaction time there to slow your bike down from 60, especially this time of night. When you're on a dirt road in particular, you hit a rut, and if you aren't balanced for that rut, it's probably the easiest way to go flat on your face. And dirt roads have rocks sticking out of them. A lot of riders get caught off guard by those. Drivers have a tendency to be more aggressive, hyper aggressive, if they have a shield around them. For instance, a driver will run you off the road, and I've been run off the road this year. In my instance, I pulled in front of a diesel truck, big lifted diesel truck, and there was tons of room between us. Left a big, huge gap. I didn't turn out in front of him at all. We got up to about 50. Suddenly this guy rips by us, probably doing 80, and swerves into our lane. And then he slammed on his brakes and then gassed it to blow diesel everywhere. He was clearly intoxicated. They just don't feel safe doing it until they're behind the wheel. And the reason for that is they have that cage. So they'll go so far as to follow you around, swerve at you, get very, very aggressive. But they wouldn't do that at Walmart with their shopping cart or in line waiting to check out. There's a psychology behind it. So yeah, when you're on your bike, you have to watch for people because there's thousands of people just right here in the valley. And I've always said, probably 10 out of 100 people are really not very good people. There's going to be 1 out of 100 that has just got real issues, and when you multiply that by 1,000, you have some pretty nasty ones in there. That doesn't mean the majority are that way, it's just that the nasty ones are the ones you have to watch out for. Really, really got to watch out for people, and just they make errors. That's one thing you have to know on a dirt bike or on a motorcycle, that is that people just make mistakes. I've never really got mad at another driver if the mistake was done in error. Then they just made a mistake. Oh well. Even if they almost killed me. In fact, there was one I caught on camera a long time ago. It was probably the closest I've ever come to being killed on a motorcycle. There's no reason to get crazy with people, but definitely there is definitely a lot of reason to stay vigilant out here on the streets because it's very, very dangerous. People just make mistakes, and that doesn't even count the people who are not necessarily making a mistake, but they have real psychological issues. I kind of attribute a lot of that hyper-aggression to just being very, very much pressed together into the city. Granted, a lot of those people like to be out in the country too because they don't like people, but there's a type of bug that it changes biologically and gets hyper aggressive when it's around a bunch of other similar species. And that's a grasshopper. They become locusts. I think people are the same way. In fact, I think a lot of species are the same way. It's not good for your biology to be crammed next to other people. We form these gigantic epicenters, and that starts a real problem, in my opinion anyway. You start to get different ideas which are pretty contagious as well, and these different ideas can be from the perspective of somebody who doesn't know anything besides this concrete around them and these people around them. They don't really have any concept of the world. They get a really skewed view of the world. I think a lot of that is how California is and a lot of the problems they have. But that's going way off topic. But they'll run you over if they have the chance. When you're out here, there are way more possibilities of going from 60 to 0 in less than a second out here on the street. Anybody can pull out in front of you, or shoot, just a couple minutes ago, a couple deer crossed the street. So if you don't see something like that, it can be a real problem for you. You see the videos of me traversing these rocky ledges and stuff like that, and helmet, goggles, and boots, that's the bare minimum if you absolutely cannot wear anything else. So anyways, guys, I guess I'll end with that. Just wear your gear when you're out here on the street or on any road, really, because that really is the best insurance that you can have. More than that, you don't want to have to deal with the injuries. You definitely don't want to have to. It's not about the money that you pay to fix the injuries, because it may be more than just an injury. You might actually get killed. You have to have a helmet before you even get on two wheels every single time. And if you don't think that's true, then you probably haven't spent too much time on a bike. You will jack yourself up. If you're off-road, it'll happen quick. You'll learn right away, probably the first year. But if you're on the street, that's why you see so many people not wearing helmets on the street, because they haven't experienced it yet, because they only get to experience once what it's like hitting the pavement without a helmet on. So you see all the guys who haven't gotten to experience that yet. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. It's getting a little bit dark. Peace.